Hello, railway enthusiasts. We're back with Railway Empire 2, and we're playing the DLC Industrial Wonders. So I'm jumping ahead to the Paris scenario just because it seems kind of fun to build the Eiffel Tower. And so, yeah, let's just do it. We'll start over here in Paris. I'm probably going to stick with the engineer. It's just kind of the easiest one, I think. The little bit of express train bonus you lose, it definitely will hurt over time with money, but then you're also saving a bunch of money and time with your trains. So I think it works either way. We're gonna go with the manual signals. My understanding is that you basically use them like automatic signals, but it gives you some customization options. So let's get going. We're going to start with 3 million, it looks like, and everything else is just, you can't change it. So yeah, let's do it. All right. Well, that gets us underway. So, yeah, so I'm actually going to do this. I've generally been playing and talking through everything, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. My plan is to kind of just build and kind of keep coming back and talk about what we've built, and then maybe we'll do some real-time building. But yeah, it gets kind of yeah. Otherwise, that last round I played, you can see it went many episodes. I feel like it's more interesting when you're in the late game. So we let's have a look at our tasks. So 70 wagons on a single line, least favorite. Because I don't know, it just seems like lines direct between cities do a lot better than kind of having a um, a circular line going or whatnot. 70 wagons between Paris, Conflans, Honorine, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this well, and Fosse. Okay, so just 70 wagons, I guess anything, passengers freight. 500 passengers to Paris, 20 wooden planks to Paris, and we want to get to 60,000. So it's all about building up Paris primarily, and getting a line between Paris, Conflans, and Fosse. So there's this one, here to here, and then up here. So we basically want like this sort of Y-shaped rail network here. We have Saint Denis in the middle, and it looks like, so Saint Denis already has a sawmill, and the logging camp is here. So we're probably going to have a direct route here, and we'll... What else we got? Okay, we can't get over here. So we have Versailles, Paris. So we have a lot of early cities. Okay, we can't access this either. We can access this. My guess is I think it's a good idea to... Well, we need to get to Fosse anyway, so we're going to definitely be buying this concession right away. Yeah, and then yeah, we'll get this network going for sure. Question is, where's the hub going to be? Feels like Saint Denis might make sense, but at the same time, Paris is probably going to get all the traffic. So we'll probably have a big hub in Paris, maybe share a warehouse somewhere here. Definitely go for the connection bonuses. Yeah, okay, so let's see how we do. Okay, so we're back, and so you can see what I've done here. My take was, yeah, so we got our kind of Y-based network going, and we're about a month in. So I did all the building, spent all the money we possibly could, and actually I'd got a bond and spent all the money. We are now at the point where we can take out another bond, which is cool. So that just happened, and that's why I thought was a good point to kind of see where we're going. So you can see that on the task side of things, we haven't completed anything yet, but we're on the way everywhere. So we've got our one line running between our 3 major cities here. And then we also have passengers coming into Paris automatically because we've got all these trains going. We connected Versailles in as well, so that's going to be bringing in a few passengers. And I haven't yet expanded out here. I just don't have the money to do it. But otherwise... that I think that's gonna happen pretty easily. And then the wooden planks. So yeah, we basically have a short a short train coming in, out of Baptiste here to Saint Denis, and then that's building out our wooden planks, and we've got a direct line to Paris here. Paris is, as expected, one of our kind of warehouse hubs, so we are also sending logs from here down to Paris to distribute out, and the potatoes coming in over here. Oddly, I didn't put beans in. I suppose I should get that done for sure. Oh, I did build. I was hoping to kind of get an express station going immediately, but it didn't happen. So we've just really got everything going out of Paris to here. Our sort of, and we're gonna try to get that express line going as soon as we can, but it's just expensive. So yeah. So yeah, our warehouse, we do want to be bringing in beans too, and yeah, we actually haven't yet set up our beans line as well. So I think that's why the warehouse hadn't come in. But yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. We'll check back in a bit and see how we're doing on our tasks and further expansion. All right, so we're back a month or so later here, actually a couple months, and something I did forget to do was I didn't take the bond in the end. So I kind of was slowly expanding. I suppose that's my first error here. But while the rail network hasn't really changed a huge amount, I think we added in some milk from the last recording. But we did get the beans set up, so we've now got a much larger warehouse situation going on, and yeah, I mean, it's basically been like letting the trains run and expand us out there. But now we do have, and so in terms of where we're on our way, we got our passengers to Paris, and then the wagons between that network are just gradually going. The wooden planks are going to get there. They're slow. The main reason they're slow is that the plank demand in Paris is just not there. It's Paris only wants 0.5 a time. So you can see we've got plenty of planks in there. It's just we have to wait for the demand to consume them to get that goal, which is obviously going to happen as we expand. We've got maximum speed demand, and actually we just crossed 50,000, trying to get to 60. So we can actually replace our immigration office with a library, which will keep the demand even higher. So I think that's definitely what we're going to spend some of our money on. And with the bond, we can absolutely, well, it's expensive to get out here, but I think it is worth doing. The consideration, though, is how, I think we need a new kind of network going, in terms of just kind of positioning things. Right, we're not gonna have Paris distribute over to these guys. So Fosse, however you pronounce it, might have to be its own little warehouse hub too. And just got to be careful. You don't want warehouse distribution between those two. Yeah, so that's gonna be the next plan, and I'm gonna get to that and come back. And we'll talk more about it then. So yeah, let's see. All right, so now we have got our network built out over here, and we've made it to July, so we're about 6 months in, and we have finished the lofty goals over here. So we are now officially in our next section, a solid foundation. And we are finally starting to build the Eiffel Tower. That we want 50 loads of steel to Paris. And once again, just like last round, we need to be mindful of slag created as a byproduct. Deliver it to the export warehouse for slag in Fosse. Okay, so there's apparently a warehouse over there. And then we also need some tools, which do come from steel. Let's have a quick look at that. And actually, I guess before we go through those new tasks, what did we get done here? We have a small breakdown, but Paris has made it up to 60,000, and that won't yet put it on a new industry, but It's still at double arrow growth, which is great. Haven't really been able to get Conflans going, which is a bit annoying. It is, there should be deliveries coming. No, actually, pretty bad. No deliveries coming, which is a bit. The issue is that single line, this thing. It's very funny that the tasks require you to make a single line but it doesn't really get the work done. Because essentially what's happening in this example is, so we've got like 3 lines going here, and what they tend to do is, we can see this guy is heading to Paris with a bunch of meat. But the thing is, he picked up the meat. Well, I guess he did pick. Well, I don't know. I don't know where he picked up. But what I have noticed is, the route is Paris to Fossey, and it goes to Fossey and it picks up a bunch of meat for Paris. It prioritizes Paris for some reason, and so then it heads all the way over here, drops nothing, and then heads over to Paris and drops the meat. So eventually Paris will get all the meat it wants, and we should start picking up stuff from here that would go to Conflans. But like that's the problem with that circular line. Very weird that the task makes you do that. So anyway, I think we're gonna kill that quick and just have, we'll set up a Paris to Fossey and then a Conflans to Saint Honorine. And you could have a passenger only line between these two. There's no real goods that are going to be delivered. Yeah, see, this is an example, right? He's heading back. I'm pretty sure he did not pick up any meat here. You can see 14 meat in Conflans, but he has 2 meat, and he just left, and he's heading to Paris. So he took the meat from over here. So kind of annoying. We're going to set this. This is just going to be back and forth, because this meat is obviously trying to get to Paris quite a lot. So if Paris to Fossey is the only thing that will happen here. And then let's go ahead and set up a, we'll do like a direct here. I have a feeling this guy is going to load up on a lot of things for Conflans. Yeah, see, because it has been starved of goods. Although it did only take 3 bread, but that can also be because the warehouse just isn't ready to deliver there. Yeah, Paris has got pretty busy. We did go ahead and get 4 tracks in there. Anyway, okay, that dealt with that. Yeah, I think the next step, and bond-wise, we are maxed out. So we are going to have to kind of go relatively slowly, wait for investment. But we have opened up, I believe, at least 1 new area. Yeah, we opened up the North Seine, Emane, and the only goal is this the steel to Paris. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, we really need to build up. Like this is, well, I'm thinking we're gonna have to build up this. We wanna get this area going because, yeah, this is where our coal and iron is. So it would be ideal to get our steel in here. Wow, I really can't pronounce it. Coulommiers. It's 15,000 away from getting its industry. So that's probably going to be, I think, the target here. Yeah, how long do we have? 1882. We've got 2.5 years. So unfortunately, we don't have a lot of money though. We can't throw massive expansion at this because we really want to we essentially want to duplicate this network over here, get all the goods in as fast as possible. Because otherwise, we're going to be, the only other option is possibly if Paris is really going to get there quickly, or Saint Denis, we ship the coal and iron over and get the steel going. Yeah, that's the name of the game, is getting cities up and running and accepting industries. Alright, well, so we know our goal. I guess I'll be back with some progress again. All right, we're back again. It's been at least a year, I believe. And let's pause it real quick here. So we did manage to expand out to this side. It was very expensive. Um, but what I'm glad to report is that we do have our first delivery of steel on its way. Well, our first delivery went to Paris, and we've got more on the way. December 1882, so I'm hoping we will make that relatively, like by the end of the year should be fine. Tools, a little more nerve-wracking. I actually loaded in because we just hit 40,000 in Fosse, and so I built the tool factory for 600 grand, which seems quite expensive to me right now, although, you know, our balance has finally started to really, you know, we're finally actually getting some economy going. It has been a slow hog trying to get the cities loaded up. Oh, actually, we do have another industry coming in here. And yeah, that's bad timing. So the really tough part about the game is that once the city grows up, if you don't fill it with a factory, it will build its own. And that actually happened to us in Paris here when it hit 90,000. They built paper, which, you know, is a real shame because paper requirement, I'm not sure what that requirement is at 35,000. So, I mean, you know, it will definitely feed a lot of these cities that are getting into that 35,000 range, but yeah, I mean, maybe it's for the best. And I mean, you know, we've got sawdust really nearby, which is what the paper needs. Paris has become pretty congested. I had to put another another station in, and it has been really tough to try to get an express going. Um, I'm sure we would benefit, but it's just such expensive land everywhere. So this was horrendous. I think we made the right choice coming around this way, because going down this hill was just very, very expensive. You've got like a large hill here, crossing around here. No matter where we did it, it was just coming up to, you know, 500,000. So it's a bit of a long route. The steel did get built here. We didn't pay for it. So that kind of guided me in essentially saying, well, fine. This is not too bad. We do have we have a single train basically doing, we set this up last time as well, but doing a kind of pick up the iron, pick up the coal together, and then head on the long journey. And it's working out pretty well. You can see our steel is fully utilized. Slag has not filled up too much, which is good. But I think I have, my guess is yeah, so I have, so this actually works out quite well because I have a Fosse route here, so the slag's ending up in that warehouse over here, so that's good. But yeah, I think that we're doing pretty well. I think we're on track quite nicely. Research has been slow too, not really a lot going on. You know, we barely have any express trains, so this train upgrade's not going to be that good. I'm more interested in the mixed, because that's really what I've been relying on a lot. I think this is a good wrapping spot. I hope this sort of time lapse with commentary is a more interesting style. It's definitely easier on me than having to talk through and constantly be talking while thinking. So, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time in Paris.